Okay, so month 3, March. If you're here, you've likely seen the last 2 videos, but if you haven't, I'll do a quick recap. Last year, Thorben spent an entire year on One World. He, however, only spent 100 hours on it. Since I have no life, I decided to do what he did, quintuple the length of 500 hours, and add a bunch of content mods. Here are the big 7, along with some mods to help with compatibility and balancing. The full mod list is in the description. Did you catch all that? No? Too bad. Intro's over, let's get on with it. Hell yeah, March is here! This means we get access to the dungeon and what is arguably our most important armor set for the next 2 months, the Nakomi set. It's a very powerful multi-class set, which is befitting for a melee summon hybrid playstyle, but it's locked behind the Deviantt. She's the first of the 3 Toho-style fights Fargo adds, and she's a lot of fun. Her attacks are all based on the different rare enemies in the game, like paladins and mimics. She also got a new song, which is great. Yurio did amazing on it, as well as Abomination's theme, Leviatine. If you're curious, the song you heard in the intro montage was the Deviant's theme. The fight overall went, well, it went. It was long and grueling, and we were able to pull through with at least 1 intact limb.
I did horribly! Wait a minute. How many hits did I take? 44 hits! God damn, I'm sorry! I'm trash! Oh my god, I'm trash!
We then proceed to make the Nakomi set, and with the power of our newly acquired Catgirl armor, try our hand against Skeletron. It went over very quickly, with Skeletron's hands being shredded alongside the head. I did mess up and forget about the Dungeon Guardian phase at first, leading to a swift death, but afterwards we were prepared and took it out quickly. At this point, the 700 DPS of the Biome Blade was feeling a bit too overpowered, so I wanted to change things up by getting Knight's Edge. Apparently, however, Calamity locks it behind the Slime God, so we decided to slay them as well. It was another point-and-click adventure that was just more proof that the Biome Blade is too powerful. Making the Knight's Edge, I decided to make a replica of our Biome Blade, since we'll need the original for crafting in hard mode, and hang it up on the weapon wall alongside the Shotgun to complete our February lineup. What I would soon learn, however, is that Stars Above isn't doing itself any favors either. We were given the task of killing Dios Kaori, the Twin Forces. This duo fight was marked as being too tough for our point in progression, but we shredded it easily. After this, all bosses and enemies will have 1.5 times HP and deal 1.5 times damage, which I believe is around the same as Master Mode. Why didn't it just do Master Mode originally? Out of principle. Also, what I just said didn't actually work until a few weeks into the playthrough, but shush, it's fine. Most of today was spent on dungeon exploration. We really made sure to take our time and pick the area clean. We mined everything that wasn't a wall, block, platform, or mine torches. This allowed us to get the Eye of Night, Calamity's summoner version of Knight's Edge. It's pretty neat, as it has these eyes that shoot cells that attach to enemies. After we looted every chest, mined every furniture item, etc., we worked on the bridge because it still isn't finished. I decided to go a little more complex for the roofing, using walls to add lateral supports as well to the main vertical ones. The bridge isn't nearly finished yet, but we have a good foundation to help with tomorrow's bridge building marathon. Ending off week 1, I wanted to get as much bridge work done as possible because we've been working on it for weeks. I took last week's basic design and extended it to encompass half of our bridge. I'll eventually also be expanding it to shelter the right side of the bridge, but after about 3 more hours added to the bridge, I was satisfied with our work. After multiple hours of bridge building, however, I was getting quite sick of working on it. What do you do when you get tired of bridge building? Build a bridge! We started building the Hell Bridge that will be used in April today as well. It uses the same design as our Sky Bridge's ceiling, but uses a different palette of obsidian bricks, ancient obsidian bricks, and demonite bricks. Its ceiling is just a flipped version of the floor as the bridge, and we will have supports sticking above them to connect the pillars to the roof of Hell. It'll go roughly 2,000 blocks in each direction of the Hell elevator for a total of just over 4,000 blocks. I am really hoping this looks good. I spent 40 platinum on it. Today, we spent more time building. Building what? A structure carrying a road, path, railroad, or canal across a river, ravine, road, railroad, or other obstacle. Otherwise known as a bridge. We spent more time on the Hell Bridge today, as that's more necessary in the near future since we need it for Wall of Flesh and Cosmic Month. The bridge is, for the most part, fully functional now. It only needs a few buildings removed before it gives us a cleared 4,000 block pathway through Hell. Everything else after that is for decoration. We still need to finish adding the bottom supports, build support beams in the middle of the floor and canopy, and actually finish the canopy as that's right now just a thin layer of blocks to mark where it starts. I want to build something other than a bridge on Thursday, so this likely won't be done by the end of the week, but we made a ton of progress with about 5 hours of work on the Hell Bridge and like 12 hours of work on the Sky Bridge so far. Today was all about non-bridge related activities. Since we've spent probably over a dozen hours at this point building nothing but bridges, I wanted to spice it up. Metatown has been left in a half-finished state for ages, and I really wanted to finish it. I also wanted to add in a biodome for the evil biomes and a teleporter hall for fast transportation. Yes, that makes the Sky Bridge obsolete. No, I don't want to talk about it. Starting with Metatown, we decided to add in 2 more buildings before capping it off. We didn't have much extra free space, so I decided to only expand it a little bit with a jewelry shop and a house for the Wayfarer, before adding another tower to the east side and connecting them with some walls. It's small, but I think it turned out well as a sister town to Aether Stronghold. As for the other forest NPCs at homes, I plan on turning the old corruption biome into a 3rd town for NPCs like the Brewer, Environmentalist, and eventually Calamity herself. Next up was the BioCube. I really didn't want to break out the circle calculator, so I threw down a city buster, outlined it in 6 layers of glass, and filled the area with different sands, snows, and ices in order to give ourselves a wide variety of infected monsters to fight whenever we needed. Finally, we spend the last half of the stream starting our teleporter hub. There's 32 different teleporter spots planned, although only about 8 are functional right now due to time constraints and not having everything completed enough to place down teleporters. My goal is, as I start to build a general shape of each town, to place a teleporter within it to allow for easy transport. The only reason I'm not doing this right away is because I don't want to be constantly moving teleporters and wires around. Next week we'll likely get back to bridge building once we finish hooking up the remaining teleporters that are already ready to be linked, and we'll hopefully finish both bridges by end of week 3. We ended up streaming for only 3 hours this stream rather than 4, as I've had horrible issues with sleeping the last few days. I basically couldn't keep my eyes open by the end. Today we accomplished one simple goal: headhunting. More specifically, we killed the last 6 bosses on our 2-kill list. None of them were particularly interesting aside from the Scar Scouter, which I hadn't fought yet with the rework mod. It's a lot of fun! I also realized I am somehow really good at Deerclops. We also finally got the boss HP multipliers working today, giving us bosses with about 30k HP on the side of Thorium, and closer to 40k with vanilla bosses going off Deerclops. This made the fights last more than a few seconds, as a result made them a lot more fun in my opinion. Afterwards, we spent about 2 hours starting work on our underground town. I, for the life of me, could not bring myself to continue bridge building, so we did this instead. I decided to use more Gathic brick and Elderwood in these builds to reflect the underground ruins nearby a little. Very proud of the small little progress we made on it. It's about halfway done, as we still need to add our torch shop with the torch mertens / torch god, and the boutique for the clothier. We did bridge building for an hour before I had to end the stream due to being sick. Yeah, there's nothing more to say about today and for the rest of the week. I felt like genuine crap due to what I think was a sinus infection combined with allergies, so I decided to take the rest of the week to rest. The final week of March, and the final week of pre-hard mode too. Time is crunching down fast, and we have some projects we need to finish. Namely the 2 bridges, as they'll become harder to build when hard mode hits. Luckily, we were able to finish our Hell Bridge today! Stretching just over 4,000 blocks, this is sure to keep us alive during our 4 fights in Hell. Then, using our remaining hour, we got to work at the Sky Bridge once again. We actually got pretty far, finishing the basic pattern of the canopy and starting the supports, but it's not done yet. Tomorrow's our last day and we need to kick this into high gear in order to finish it. Tying up loose ends before a big change is very helpful to ease yourself into it. It allows you to enter into it with a clear head and conscience, helping to combat the inevitable anxiety. Why did I just get slightly incoherent and philosophical with you? Because we finished the bridge! This was over an entire month's work, but it's done! Just over 8k blocks of pure stone beauty! This will have complications next month when we have to deal with the astral infection, but that's a next month problem! This bridge took up so much of our time that I ended up getting stumped on what to do afterwards. I decided to expand and decorate our underground pylon first, making it into what I consider almost complete. It's just missing the boutique for the clothier, and then I think we're golden. With that out of the way, we end off the stream by continuing our work on the teleporter hub. I consider it starting yet another large project I'm planning, but I want a small break in between the bridges in it, so I'll keep it a secret for now. Anyway, the teleporter hub now has almost all the 3rd layer wiring complete, which encompasses our Vicon Arena, Sunken Sea Arena, Desert Pylon, Desert Arena, Jungle Pylon, Aether, the Shimmer, and the Ocean Pylon. I magically became 10 times better at wire management today for some reason, so this actually wasn't all that hard to set up. However, our time ran to a close before we could do the Ocean Pylon, and we closed the world after 318 in-game days and 125 hours and 42 minutes. As usual, I'm gonna do the conclusion and outro unscripted. Not really a whole lot to talk about this week overall. It was weird. A lot of it was just bridge building, and I should have seen that coming, but I went way and over my head with that bridge. And the Hell Bridge too, deciding to add that on was an absolute travesty. But it's over now, and I want to give ourselves at least a little bit into April to get our bearings first before we start on any other large projects. We do still have a bunch of extra towns to make, and we're probably already going to have to rebuild that bridge, because if you don't know how the astral infection works, it rides in on a meteor. A meteor that is going to hit the bridge, guaranteed, because it covers the entire world. This is not going to be good. I also don't actually know how large the blast radius of the nuke in Modern Redemption is. So for all I know, it's gonna blow up and it's gonna destroy part of the bridge with the blast radius. I don't think that's gonna happen, but you can never be too certain, and so I am a little bit worried. But that's gonna do it for me here. You all know the drill. Like, sub, comment. I'll actually be streaming this again tomorrow, as per usual, because, I mean, Monday's April 1st. No, I don't have anything planned for April Fools. Don't ask me. That's not even like a joke either. I really don't care for April Fool's Day. But, yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll catch you all in the next one. My name's been Rachel. You know who you are. That was a little bit mumbly, but I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye!